Alright, you little mathematicians, here's a pretty tough problem that asks us to find the height of a trapezoid given the bases and the area. So, a trapezoid has bases that measure 8.4 inches and 6.1 inches. If the area is 26.1 inches squared, what is the height? Let's find out. Okay, so here first I've made a drawing of our trapezoid. 8.4 this base, 6.1 this base. The height is what we don't know. And of course we also know that the area is 26.1, right? The area of the entire trapezoid here. Okay, and then of course we also know that here is the formula for a trapezoid. Area equals, this is one way of writing the formula, by the way. There are several ways of doing it. The way that I think of trapezoids, and this is how I've talked about it a lot in my class, is that the area of a trapezoid is equal to the average of the two bases times the height. And of course the way you find the average of two numbers is by adding those two numbers together and dividing by 2. So that's kind of how I think of trapezoids. The average of the two bases times the height. You might see it with the height written up here all over 2, or you might have 1/2 times a bunch of stuff, base 1 plus base 2 times the height. Any of those is fine, of course, and the method will work exactly the same way. And the method that we use is just plugging in the values that we know into the variables that are standing in for those values. So I was told in the problem that the area was 26.1, so why would I write A? I can substitute in the value that I know for that variable. So 26.1 goes here. I also know the values of both bases, 6.1 and 8.4. The one thing that I'm missing is the height. I still don't know the height. So what I'm going to do now is just start doing some math. And I'm just going to do it step by step by step. So 26.1, there's nothing to be done on this side of my equation. But I can start doing work over here. 6.1 plus 8.4 is 14.5. So instead of having this addition problem up here, I'm going to just have 14.5 over 2 times the height. Now I can simplify even more. 26.1 equals, I can do 14.5 divided by 2, right? I can simplify this fraction, do the division, and the answer is 7.25 times the height. Now I need to use all those fancy algebra skills that we learned about in the last few months, right? I've got h here. It's being multiplied by 7.25. In order to isolate my variable, to get h all by itself, I need to perform inverse operations. If h is being multiplied by 7.25, I need to divide that side by 7.25. But if I'm doing it to one side, I also need to do it to the other. Divide both sides by 7.25. Now, over here, all that's left is h, because 7.25 over 7.25 is just 1. 1h, we can also just write as h. And then on the left side of the equation, 26.1 divided by 7.25, you might have to do that math somewhere. Perhaps you would just, use a calculator. But in any case, the answer is 3.6. And so the height of that trapezoid is 3.6 inches. So you see how we had to use order of operations, we had to use algebra, we had to use the formula for a trapezoid. This is tough stuff with a lot of different steps. So thanks a lot, congrats on following me through it. Totally proud of you guys for working through these difficult problems. There are other videos too if you need some more help. Thanks a lot. Have a good one.